I want to thank Gerald Nissan of Naperville for making this review possible. Gerald Nissan of Naperville is the only Nissan dealer in the Chicagoland area to offer a lifetime powertrain warranty on their engines and transmissions in the vehicles they sell. Check out their award-winning showroom and browse from over 1,000 new and used cars at www.geraldnissannaperville.com. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2019 Nissan Kicks. Up front is a 1.6 liter inline 4 and down below is a continuously variable transmission. If you'd like to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive. I'll be writing a complete article about the Nissan Kicks. As well as if you'd like to see my videos early, head on over to patreon.com/shootingcars, where for only $2 a month, you can see all my videos before they're released here on YouTube. But let's get back to that 1.6 liter inline 4. Well, it's one of these smaller engines in its class, and by its class, I mean other small SUVs that other manufacturers are putting out, like the Toyota CHR, which I have a review of, Ford EcoSport, vehicles like that. That's what I mean when I say its class. So although it has the smaller engine, it's going to get the best fuel economy of any of them. So, you guys know it, dealership reviews, we get to use the test track. Not bad. It feels a lot peppier than other small SUVs that I've driven, which is peculiar because it has the smaller engine. You would automatically assume the smaller engine means it's slower. And that honestly felt adequate with the other ones in its class. Now, it's not going to blow the doors off of a supercar. It's not fast by any means, but it can get out of its own way. You're not going to have to worry about, can your car make it on the on-ramp? Are you going to hold up traffic or anything like that? Now, like I said, paired to it is a CVT transmission. Nothing too exciting there. I notice it does fake shift, and it feels quite normal, and I really don't have any complaints. Last thing about the Kicks drivetrain is that it is front-wheel drive, and there is no all-wheel drive option, which is upsetting for sure. I wish that this came in all-wheel drive. I think that would really, really sell, because especially here in the Midwest, all-wheel drive in the winter is king. You just can't get around it. You want all-wheel drive here in the winter. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I actually only have one gauge on the far right, and that's my speedometer. It's a really clean, simple look. It's silver, it's metallic-y, it looks modern, and I really like that. Then on the left, I get a circle, like there would be a gauge, but it's actually just a screen. So I can cycle through a couple different things here. I have MPG that I could cycle through, and then if I go left and right, I can see my miles per hour in digits, which is handy. My settings. Oh, and I do get a tachometer. Okay, this is really cool. So you could actually turn on a tachometer. If you would like a tach, which I do personally, you can actually set and have a tach. I did not realize that. That is really, really handy. And then you have your audio settings, which I'm actually going to leave it on the tach. And then in the center between those two gauges, you get a little screen that is showing your active crash avoidance assistance, as well as your gear. On the steering wheel, you have your volume controls, your selector buttons, as well as on the right, you have cruise control and phone options. To the left of me, I only have one button that is for traction control off. On the door, you have automatic one touch down, one touch up front windows, but not one touch down, one touch up rear windows. In the center, I have two little air vents, and then our infotainment system. So this is the upgraded infotainment system. This is not the base model, so the base model will have a different one. But the nicest thing about this is that you can get Apple CarPlay in the Kicks, so you can sync your Apple device and make your life a whole heck of a lot easier. I really like this. I think all cars should have Apple CarPlay, because then it kind of levels it across the board. And if you get into your friend's car, you know exactly how to work the infotainment system without too much issue. If you get the top of the line, the premium edition, it actually has Bose speakers in the headrests. Down below the infotainment system, you have your climate control options. Pretty simple. You have auto, fan controls, heat controls, and your defrosters. Nothing really special there. Down below the climate control, you have a cigarette lighter, aux in, and USB. Then, of course, the shifter, nothing too crazy here. I like how slim it is. I like how out of the way it is. It's not too crazy, and it has a normal shifter. More and more modern cars are switching to these weird, funky shifters. I'm not a fan of that. I just like classic push-button shifter. Then you have a handbrake and 2 cup holders. The front seats are really nice. I actually am a big fan of them. They hold you decent. They hold you as well as any small SUV will. But what I especially like about them is how they look. They are cloth, but they look a lot nicer than your rental car cloth seats that you get in your 2016 Kia Soul that has 100,000 miles and is torn apart by a rental dealership. So although they are cloth, they feel a lot more premium than your standard cloth seats. Now, the Kicks is a 4-door, 4-seater, so of course we'll do a back seat review. All right, so because there's no real place to put the GoPro back here, I will just hold it. So the back seats are pretty comfortable. I actually have a surprising amount of room. My knees barely touch the front seats, which I've always found to be an issue with these sorts of SUVs, these compact SUVs. I always kind of struggle with room, but honestly, it's not bad. It feels a little bit like stadium seating. These seats are definitely higher than the front seats, so you get a good visibility from back here. Nothing too much over there, just a little cargo cover for the trunk. I do have 2 little USB charging outlets up there, and that's really it. I don't have a center console. There is a 3rd seat belt, so you can fit 3 in the back here if you really hate someone and want to shove them in the middle. But overall, this back seat definitely gets a thumbs up. The sort of quilted diagonal pattern carries on back here on these seats as well, which is super nice. Now we will talk about the trunk because there is a fair amount of space back there. I really was impressed by the amount of room in the back, or the boot, if you would like to call it that. Now, the looks, I think the Kicks looks pretty good. I think it looks modern. I think it definitely keeps up with competitors, if not looks better than the competitors. And honestly, when you buy a new car, you want it to look new, and the Kicks certainly does that. As well as the Kicks name is a newer name to Nissan, so you have that to talk about at your next dinner party. Although if you buy a Kicks, I'm not so sure that you will be going to dinner parties because this is really a younger person's car. That's really how Nissan marketed it. It's towards millennials. And I really genuinely hope that they sell these. And they do what Scion failed to do. Because Scion was a brand offshoot of Toyota, and their whole marketing scheme was to market towards millennials. But they kind of failed to do so. And so I really hope the Kicks succeeds in that department because I like these cars that are hip, these cars that are different. Say what you will about any of this car's competitors, you're gonna have a little bit more fun in this because it is so different and unique, and it has a great sound system. Think about even just the name Kicks. That's not a old person's name. Like, just to take, for instance, the Buick Park Avenue. Park Avenue sounds like an old folks' home. That is geared towards the older generation. But this Kicks, it's a fun little car that actually handles really well. And it turns in real nice. It's a nice light car. And it is a fun, spunky little car. If you don't believe me, if you don't think that these are fun or spunky by just looking at it, because, okay, agreeably, this one that I'm driving in white, it's not the most spunky. Look at the colors that you can get. Look at the different options you could spec out. You could spec out an orange trim package. And I really hope that cars like this don't go away. I hope that dealers still continue to put out fun, little, affordable cars. Because this offers an escape from the beige-colored Honda Accords or whatever other meh car you want to put in for this analogy. You get to get away from that. You get to get something a little bit special, a little bit more unique. And I really like that about the Kicks. I like that Nissan is kind of taking a little bit of a leap of faith with the Kicks, and I really hope it does turn out well for them. The other really nice thing about the Kicks is that it's affordable and it's everything that you need in a vehicle. Now, SUVs, small SUVs are getting ever so more popular, and so this market has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And so you get a nice infotainment system, you get a good amount of cargo room, you get safety features like emergency braking. You get all of that for a really reasonable price. But later down the road, when I do plan to have a family, and I have a son or daughter who is getting ready to go out into the world, when they first get their driver's license, this is a car that I would want them to be in, because I understand the freedom of driving, and driving's obviously one of my favorite things to do in the whole world. So I understand the importance of a good back road and some good music. But also, this car is affordable, it's safe, it gets great gas mileage so they don't have to ask you for gas every weekend. And overall, I think this is a really good car for the younger generation. For my generation, honestly. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I want to give a huge shout out to Gerald Nissan in Naperville. Their information is up on the screen. They have been absolutely awesome. We have a bunch of more videos planned. They have so many Nissans. If you can't find the right Nissan at Gerald Nissan, then the right Nissan does not exist for you, because they literally have every sort of car that you'd want, new and used. And their staff is awesome. Super cool there. I cannot recommend them enough. If you guys are looking for a Nissan or a used car, definitely head over to Gerald Nissan. Again, their information is up on the screen. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.